What's going on, guys? Duelim here, back again with another video. Duelim here, back again with another video. Where today we're going to be talking about Illuminati, but specifically the reworks and which reworks you guys should be focusing on at this time. So we're going to start off with Black Bolt, and we're going to talk about his kit a little bit and kind of what changed because of the rework. His ISO class, which you see is Striker here. It absolutely still should be Striker. You can make a case for Raider because of the burps with his passive, but I still like Striker personally. For his basic, really nothing changed on his basic with this rework. It was pretty much the exact same. The special now does primary and secondary in Crucible, which is really great. And it does a lot of damage. 600% damage is pretty nutty. His ultimate now gains extra crit chance as well for Illuminati allies, which is really awesome. So that's going to make him hit extremely, extremely hard with his ultimate if he does get there. It is turn 3, but they do spawn with speed up, and this team is extremely quick because of spawning with speed up for 2 turns in a row because of Hank Pym passive. And then his passive, King of Atalan, I almost called it Atlantis because I'm an idiot, is still the burps are pretty decent. You also, it's really not about the burps, honestly. It's really about the resistance that Illuminati gets, and then also the max health. 50% max health to this team is ridiculously good. You'll see Black Bolt stats at 3 Diamond G18 level 100. He's got 4 million health, and that's with the health stat boost as well, because that's in his kit once you put the T4 on there. Damage is at 180k, so it's not too bad. It's not great by any means, don't get me wrong, but his passive alone makes him well worth being on the team with the burps because that can really do a lot of damage. Also, he's always going to be a permanent kill, whether it's a burp or not a burp, so it's no matter what, he is a permanent kill. And then also the buffs that he's giving to Illuminati, like I said, that 40% resistance, 50% health, which is pretty nutty, if I'm going to be honest with you. So Black Bolt is a shoe-in as one of the reworks that you should build. Next up, we're going to talk about Mr. Fantastic, and you'll see I have him as a skirmisher because there's going to be a lot of assists going on this team, and honestly, Mr. Fantastic does the least with any other ISO than, like if he was a striker, it would be kind of meh. You could put him as Raider, because his basic and his ultimate hit everybody now. So he could absolutely be a Raider, and that's going to take some testing, obviously. But I like Skirmisher so far to make sure that stun lands on his special. But let's talk about his kit. So that's Skirmisher for right now, but it absolutely could be Raider if you're not having any focus issues, which you probably won't because of Shuri. Like we talked about, she gives 100%, not 100% per hero ally, but 100% to the team. So that's really good. So for his basic, the T4 I did because, again, I'm an animal. Rebound chain to 3 adjacent targets and it's extra damage. I said, yeah, why not? Who cares? And it can't be counterattacked as well in Crucible, so that's really nice. So I put the T4 on him because I'm an animal. Like I said, this is one you really don't have to do. The special is a non-negotiable. You absolutely need to apply stun no matter what every single time. I think it's like a 50% chance without the T4, and then it's a 100% chance with the T4. That's a no-brainer. You absolutely need the T4 on him. For his ultimate, honestly, it is 60% damage, but it's flat damage and it's not piercing, and I'll show you his stats in a little bit. But he does do piercing if he has Illuminati allies, but this is just an extra 60% damage. It's not piercing. But this guy hits hard. I almost cursed. Sorry, YouTube. This guy effing slaps, dude. I used him in one of my Crucibles that is up on my channel already. And his ult did some pretty damn good damage, honestly. I was pretty impressed by it. And it hits everybody on the field now as well, which is really nice. It gets extra focus. In Crucible, it's unavoidable. It clears defense up and then attacks all enemies. So it's clearing the defense up first and then doing the damage, which is really nice. And that's only if he has one Illuminati ally, which is really nice. So this is his ult is really strong, honestly. I don't know if you really need the T4, but I like damage and I like CC, so I put the T4 on him. As for his passive is on turn clear positive effect from 3 random enemies. plus 10% focus and resistance for self, and Fantastic Four, Illuminati, and Namor, and She-Hulk allies. So he gives another 10% resistance, so that brings it up to 50% with the 40% from Black Bolt. So honestly, it's kind of a meh T4 because he doesn't take that many turns because I think his speed is 100 or 102, so he doesn't take a lot of turns, but it's nice to have, and also getting an extra 10% focus and resistance for your team is really nice. And then his passive calls allies to assist now. Anybody from Illuminati on this character, in each Fantastic Four Illuminati, it's a random character. That's why you want a good balance between strikers, raiders, and skirmishers, because you want to make sure this team has a good balance and a good chance to triple tap a lot. But the problem is it's always random, so it's kind of subjective who you want to put each ISO on, because you're never going to know who's doing the triple tap, because it's always a random ally no matter what. And then again, 60% focus for self, Fantastic Four, and Illuminati, and then another 60% resistance. So it's really 100% resistance. The T4 just adds another 10. So it's 100% resistance with him and Black Bolt on the team. So I feel like resistance and focus are key in this matchup. It literally stems from not being able to land things on them with resistance, and then the focus means even if they're lower stars, they can land things on them. So I absolutely think Mr. Fantastic is ridiculously good. I will be taking him to 3 diamond the second I can. I have not seen 3 diamonds. I haven't even seen 1 diamond on him yet, but I will be taking him to 3 diamonds. And as you saw here, I did take Black Bolt to 3 diamonds. So yeah, I'm going all in on this team because I love CC and the reworks are pretty good, honestly. And that leaves us with good old Iron Man. That's right, the first legendary to ever grace our presence in Marvel Strike Force will continue hitting the bench. So basic literally didn't change at all for the rework. The special is interesting, don't get me wrong, because he can generate ability energy for adjacent hero allies. So if he has Black Bolt as an ally, because I'm almost positive Black Bolt's a hero, right? Black Bolt's a hero, I knew that. So he could give Black Bolt energy, and he can ult, and Black Bolt can ult turn 1 a little bit quicker. He can also give Shuri energy, because Shuri does not starts 3 turns away from her ult, or 2 turns away from her ultimate, or 3 turns. Yeah, 3 turns away from her ultimate. So it takes a while for her to get there too. And yeah, it's adjacent, so it's not terrible. It's very meh damage. It increases the negative effects, which again, kind of meh. And then his ultimate in Crucible, generate 1 ability energy for self and all Illuminati allies. So he's essentially a battery. The problem is he's slow. He's very slow. He's at 102, 101. He's extremely slow. So the problem is you're not going to get that battery out there very quickly to get all the energy for the other characters, to make sure Hank can ult turn 1, because he's going to special way before Iron Man goes. Shuri will special turn 1, and then turn 2, yeah, she could end up ulting if you have Iron Man, but honestly, I don't see the point of it. Like, yeah, it gets you a little bit closer, but let's see what he gives on his passive, because that's kind of the crux of this. He just gives crit chance, right? And Shuri's already going to be a raider, so Shuri doesn't need the crit chance. Black Bolt gets increased crit chance for his ultimate because of the his ultimate T4 and the way that works. And it's just not needed. It's just additional crit chance. That's it. And crit damage. Like, it's very Like, if you are choosing, because you're going to get Captain Britain, if you are or if you're not, he's very meh. He's the odd man out. He also gives defense up for 2 turns to self and all Illuminati allies. But the problem is, so does Captain Britain. So if you're already getting Captain Britain, then he's the clear odd man out, because you're getting focus and resistance from Black, or you're getting resistance and max health from Black Bolt, and then you're getting focus and resistance from Mr. Fantastic. So that's it. Those are the 2 reworks you build. Iron Man, unfortunately, is indeed the odd man out. Now, for those of you guys who are not getting Captain Britain, because I know there's going to be a decent amount of you guys, do I think it is worth building up Iron Man? The answer is honestly no. He's usable. I would say maybe gear 17, level 95. If you have a lot of tech gear and a lot of gamma radiation, gear 18, level 100 is fine. But he's not going to be there for damage. He's going to be there to give energy to adjacent allies and then all allies with his ultimate. But again, his stats are just terrible. He's at 101 speed. He's a glass cannon. He literally will get farted on and die. So he's not worth a lot of resources. And hopefully the second run of Captain Britain will be sooner rather than later. We obviously have been complaining a lot, so hopefully there is some change that Captain Britain will not be gated for as long as they want him to, you know, 5 months, 6 months like it was for characters like Zombie Juggernaut and Zombie Iron Man. But that's going to be it for my recommendation here. So Black Bolt 100% is a striker. Take him up. Mr. Fantastic, you could do Raider. You could also do Skirmisher. I'm kind of remains to be seen. I might end up doing Raider because of how good that ultimate is, because of all the damage he does, and it goes off turn 1, and it's really strong, and he gains the focus, so he really doesn't need Skirmisher. And you know what? I've talked myself out of it. I'm putting Raider on him as we are closing up this video. So that is going to be it for this one. I'm putting Raider on Mr. Fantastic, Striker on good old Black Bolt. Iron Man rides the bench as per usual. Shuri will be Raider. And then we talked about Hank Pym already in another video, so if you want to see his ISO and T4 suggestions, check that one out. And then next week, I will make sure Captain Britain, or this week, I don't know when this video is coming out, I will do a review on Captain Britain, all of his essential T4s and ISO 8 choices. But until next time, this has been Duel 'em. Later, y'all.